She's taking pictures of you, and I'm going to ask you questions so that we have you on film. So tell her, look in the camera and tell her.
She doesn't have to look at me, just talk.
Yeah, just tell us all the details about it. When you came to the United States, and where'd you come from? From what town in Italy?
My father do.
Uh-huh.
He sold peanuts.
Where?
Where was it? In Italy he sold peanuts?
What?
Was it in Italy that he sold peanuts?
Oh, yeah.
It was? Where were you from? Are you from Naples or from what town in Italy?
Where was he from?
Yeah,
Lorenzan.
Lorenzan. And is that close to, is that in Calabria? Is that in
Potenza.
Potenza?
Potenza.
Ah, okay. And he sold peanuts and he met your mother and he was selling peanuts and then
When he came to Canada.
he came alone or he came with her?
No, he came 4 years. And he wasn't accomplishing anything. And it was with some relatives.
Yeah.
And as fast as he made any money, that woman,
Who?
what relation was she? Charged him for board and room and
Yeah.
everything
Was
else.
this in Toronto?
And it was 4 years. And another fella, the wife, they had come together.
Yeah.
And the other guy was sending money like mad to the wife. And my mother says, well, how come that woman is getting so much and I'm not getting a red cent? She says, I'm going to Canada to find out what's happening there. And he was with a relative.
Yeah. A cousin?
I forgot. Well, anyway, they were charging him room rent and board and this and that and everything else,
Yeah.
you know. And it was 4 years. Mother says, well, I'm going to go there and find out what this guy's doing.
Well, how many kids did
Well, how did she get here?
Yeah, wait, okay, let me ask you this. Your father, you get to the United States.
How did I get to the United States? Nick. I was married to Nicole.
No, okay, how did you get from
To Canada.
to Canada?
Toronto, Canada.
Yeah, how did you get there?
How did I get to Toronto, Canada? I was born in Toronto.
You were?
My mother and father came first. And she had Jalorm, Dominic, niece, the 3 boys.
Yeah.
Rock, and John and me were born
In Toronto.
in Toronto. Got me?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Canadian. I'm a Canadian.
how did how did Nick get to Canada?
How did Papa?
No, my grandpa, your husband.
Oh,
How
Nick.
did he?
Oh, he served his time. You know, they had to serve, I think, 3 years in
prison?
It was in Italy. As soon as he finished up, he says, I'm going to America. He began to read about America. It was a great one for reading. And he says, I'm going to America. And the mother says, you can't go. You're going to be a priest. He says, no, I'm not going to be no priest. And he broke the line of priesthood in Grandma Gabrielle Tomasicchio, her name was.
Who was Tomasicchio?
She was a relative.
Was she?
When she married Nick, she became a Majorana.
Oh, that was Nick's mother's name was Tomasicchio?
And
What was her first name?
He says to him, no, you have to be a priest. He says, no, I'm not going to be no priest. I'm going to America. You know.
What did his father do?
And she thought that was terrible because he was breaking the line of the priesthood in the family. He says, I don't want to be a priest. I'm going to America. She couldn't stop him. So he came, you see.
How did he find you?
They rented Mama's house.
Oh, I didn't know this. I thought he was...
We were in 62, and 64 was empty,
Yeah.
and they came in to live in 64. And so there was a fellow, Vito Chiraldi, and he says to him, he says, I'm going to marry that girl. He says, you can't even get near those people. Mm-hmm. You know, they considered we were rich, because my mother owned 62, 64, 66, 881 Young Street, and they knew, they found all that out. And so Nick says, I don't care. He says, I'm going to marry that girl. He says, you can't even get near those people, because he didn't have a red cent.
So how did he find...
He didn't have a job.
How did he finally get in the door?
How did they come to Detroit?
No, how did Grandpa get in the door to your house? How did he meet you?
Well, they came and rent the house next door.
Okay.
Then how did your family check him out?
We were in 62.
Yeah.
And Mama owned 62, 64, 66, 881 Young Street.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. When Nick wanted to marry you, did your mother and father have to check out his family in Italy?
Wait a minute. Oh, yes. The whole family was there.
Oh, he came with his family.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a Tomasicchio? Is that where he... No, he's a Majorana, but his
mother was Tomasicchio.
Oh, yes. Oh, they wouldn't have had me marry anybody if they didn't know the mother and father.
And was it a good family? Did he have a nice family?
Yeah.
So how old were you when you
They
got
were
married?
Oh, what was the names? Oh,
my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
He was rich in land.
Was that Nick's father?
He died, and she married de Marinas. Very nice man he was. Very.
What did they call him? Did they call him something?
What did we call him? Well, there's a word in Italian, patrina, like a
Patrina.
Italy.
Like a father?
What would it be? No, the father died.
Who's
the real
Patrina?
father died. And,
How did he die?
She married
This man.
de Marinas,
And that's Patrina, that's stepfather.
a stepfather.
How did his real father die?
How did his real father die?
My father?
No. Nick's father. How did he die? Was he a young man or sick or what?
He died with ulcers.
Oh.
Yeah. His real father. But he was very, very polite to the patrina, they call him.
Stepfather.
The stepfather.
Yeah.
How old was he when his father died?
Huh?
How old was Nick when his dad died? How old was Nick when his father died? Was he a young boy?
He was, he went to serve. Wait a minute. They had to serve 3 years in Italy. In the service, you know. Soldier service. When he finished, that was a must. I don't know if it's still like that or not now. When he finished that, you know, he came to America.
So how old were you when you got married?
How old was he?
Were you?
Me? I think I was 22 or 23, something like that.
Where did you live when you got married?
And
That's not your mommy.
they would come.
Wait,
But
just a
Mother
little bit.
says
I'll let you know.
they had to know the family. They had to know the background. There was a nice fellow, Charlie DeRose. A very nice person, and I liked him too. Of course, John says, Curleen, he's short. And he was Calabrese. That's
From Calabria, from the south.
That was the drawback.
Yeah.
But he was a wonderful person. I said, what's the difference that he isn't from Lorenzan? I had to marry someone. I didn't marry anybody from Lowenstein anyway. I married your,
Nick from Body.
yeah, buddies. But oh, was he handsome.
He was very tall.
Huh?
He was
That's
tall.
all I got. Lazy as the day was long.
Yeah, but you got us.
But, yeah, I got
True.
you.
Are you kidding? Not me.
Ask what was the wedding like?
What was the wedding like? You had a carriage?
Oh, I had a nice
Do you,
white horses.
do you remember what day you got married? Was it a Saturday or a Sunday? Do you
A
remember,
what?
Do you remember what day it was that you got married?
April the 17th.
Did they get married on Saturday then? Was it only
No, Thursday.
Thursday?
Huh.
Huh.
Nobody got married on Saturday.
No?
Nobody got married on Friday. Thursday seems to be the day. I don't
Isn't
know.
that funny?
Sure, I got married.
So did you have, like they do today, did you have a best man and a
carriage
maid?
with white horses.
Mhm.
I had a big wedding.
Did you have like a best man and a maid of honor like they have today? You know how they have?
Oh yeah, they stand.
Who was it for you?
Wait a minute. Oh, my brother was one.
Yeah. Which brother?
And a girl that wanted him so bad. I forget what her name was.
Wait, which brother was it?
Huh?
Which brother?
John?
My brother John.
Yeah.
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 He died consumptive.
Yeah.
He was a consumptive.
And what was your dress like?
Oh, plaid suit.
Yeah.
And no shamirik.
Yeah.
We didn't believe in that.
Uh-huh. What was your dress like?
My
Did your mama
dress-
make it or did somebody?
My dress was about I don't think it was 3 feet long.
Uh-huh.
About 2.5, something like that. I didn't want, I said I don't want to show off. Mrs. Cameron made it. She was she lived in Jerome's upstairs, and she made my dress. I could have made a better dress, but yeah, we weren't supposed to make our wedding dress.
But you had made, beforehand, you had crocheted all of those sheets. You had your trousseau.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the trousseau. Yeah.
What did you have in your
What
trousseau?
was in the trousseau? What was in there?
I had what they call 6. 6 top, 6 bottom, 6 pillowcases. It was a thing of 6.
Yeah.
The towels. Everybody got that. Well, I mean, anybody that
Yeah.
could afford.
Uh-huh. But you did all the work yourself, huh? All the fancy work?
Lace on everything.
What did you do with your wedding dress?
Huh?
What happened to your wedding dress?
It got rotten.
Did you take it apart?
It was brocade.
Do you remember you said that you had a waistband, and how big was it?
And what?
You said that you had a waistband on your
Oh,
dress.
yes.
How big was it? You said, how many inches?
I don't know if it was 16 or 19.
Well, ask if she tore
Oh, I was, in fact, everybody told Nick that I was consumptive
Because you were so small?
because two brothers died of consumption. Niece and Rock. They died consumptive. And I was 10. I was about, I think, 19. I remember. Mrs. Cameron made my dress. It was brocade.
And then when you put it in a box, what happened? It rotted?
It rotted. I burnt it.
You burnt it? Didn't you keep the waistband or something?
I says, I burned this silly thing. I was mad. I says, I married the wrong one.
on tape for it.
I said, I married looks. That's all I got. And at the church, I don't know how come they thought we were rich. Because my mother owned 62, 64, 66, 81 Young Street, you know. But we didn't show that we were wealthy.
Do you remember what?
My mother never showed you know, that we had a pretentious house or something.
What food did you have at your wedding? Do you remember?
What?
She wants to know what food you had at your wedding reception. Was it in the house, or did you have a party after the wedding?
Oh, yes, in the house.
In the house?
Yeah.
Who cooked?
I forgot her
Mrs. Cameron.
name. A very good friend of ours.
What did you have?
In fact, there was 2 women that cooked.
What did you have? Do you remember what they cooked? Was it pasta or
I
what?
think they had macaroon.
Did you have a wedding cake?
Yes, beautiful
Was
wedding
it beautiful?
cake. City Dairy, they had a bakery and an ice cream. City Dairy, they called it. And we got it made there. Beautiful cake. Funny thing, we didn't get pictures. Nobody had cameras then. I wonder why.
Then where did you go on a honeymoon?
What?
Did you go on a honeymoon, or where'd you go after
Oh,
the
yes,
wedding?
we went to Buffalo.
You drove?
No.
You take the train?
No, we took the train.
Carolyn, she got married in a horse and carriage.
Oh, that's
He
right.
got a car after,
I thought that was for a fact.
he didn't have a car, he got a car after we got married.
After
It
they
wa-
were
It was an old Ford, but it was all right. And he made money with that because the streetcars went on strike the first years. And he was from, not Bloor, but College Street down to Eaton's. Eaton's was the center. Everybody came to Eaton's and shop.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going up and down.
Oh, like a taxi?
There was a strike.
Was he a taxi cab?
Streetcars.
Was he a
Probably
taxi?
a lot of money that day.
Was he a taxi cab then?
Well, he turned his car into a taxi.
What did he do for a living?
He bought a Ford.
How did he
Boy,
earn
that-
money?
That little thing paid for itself, that strike. I said, at least you got your car free.
How did he earn?
He made money.
How did he earn money? What kind
He
of a?
went from, not Bloor, College Street to Eaton's. College, and he had a load going and going, people going home. And he dropped them at College Street.
What did he have a job?
Did he have a job? He was more of a bum than anything else. He couldn't hold a job
Where did you live?
because he thought he was I don't. This little slave. He wouldn't carry a parcel.
He was no mule.
He wouldn't carry a parcel. He wouldn't carry a kid.
That's why he had the beer delivered to the house, because he wouldn't carry.
Wasn't that terrible? Well, of course we had go-karts. We call them go-karts, you know. But he wouldn't carry a child.
Where did you live? With your mother?
Yeah, 62 Elm Street.
And then, did he come? When did he come to the United States? Why?
I don't remember the year. Wait a minute. He heard for America. Oh, when he came from the army, you know, they had to serve 3 years. When he finished his 3 years, you know, if they didn't serve 3 years, he would be arrested if he went back to Italy, you know. But he served his 3 years. He says, I'm free. I can go and come. So he came to America. You see? And he didn't go back to visit Italy, oh, I don't know how many years. I had all the kids. And who was it that was going to go to Italy? He says, I want to go to Rome. He was going to be a priest, that guy. I wish he had. But anyway, he didn't.
Why did he come to the
He
United?
broke the line.
Why did he come to Detroit?
What?
Why did he come to Detroit?
Did it, there was a good reason. Ford, he read on the paper, Ford was paying $5 a day. Hey, that's where I'm going. and he didn't know how to hold a hammer in his hand, you know. And he came to Detroit, and he saw Ford, and he went into Ford, and he got a night job at night. He says he took it because half the time they slept under the benches. He didn't know how to work. He didn't know the hammer from the head of the handle. Now, Nick, he was going to be a priest.
How long did
Many
he?
times I said, "Oh, I wish you had been a priest, man.
How long did he work at?
You've been such a poor worker."
How long until you came to the United States? When did you come?
Oh, 4 years before he had been 4 years in
Detroit.
and all the time in Mama's house they lived. They practically owned that house. They paid rent, you know. And so John says John was the ruler. You know, Mama was old. She got me when she was 45 years old. So when I was ready, look at how old she was, 65, I think. So they lived next door. They rented the house. And I wanted to marry Charlie DeRose, but he was a good
So,
They didn't like that. He was a lovely boy.
so you came to Detroit?
But Nick was Barres, from Bari. That's Bari in Italy is supposed to be a good place, you know, like Rome first, then Bari. Then. What did you ask me?
When she came and where they lived and
To where, Detroit?
yeah.
Nick came first to Detroit, and then you came how much later? With you had kids?
Oh, I was already, wait a minute.
He came first to Detroit.
Oh, to Detroit.
And then you
I thought-
came, you had your 4 kids already?
Yeah, he says, I think we're going to stay in U.S., United States. And I says, oh, I can't leave Mama. And I says, John says, what's the matter with that man? What are we going to do? You can't leave. Mama was old, you know. I says, well, Majorana's there, so I'll take Mama and Papa. It's got to be someplace. John says, you can't leave Mama and Papa here alone. I says, well, then we had to issue papers that she would never go on the welfare. So with me and my husband and Jerome and her husband, that was enough substantial, she didn't have to go, they were sure. But she was never to go to the welfare when we came to Detroit. That was, I don't know, a law, I guess.
And did she live in the house with you?
And, oh yeah, she lived with, no, we got a house. Yeah. First we we built the cottage first, you know. And I lived in the cottage, the 4-room. And then we built 556, the front house, with the upstairs. And Margaret and William came to rent. Margaret was a young girl, and William was
Art.
a man, you know.
Art.
I says, they looked at the place upstairs. He says, we'll rent it. So I said, oh, all right, if you want the place. So when Nick came home, I says, I don't know, I rented it to a husband and wife. They said they're husband and wife. But she's so young, and he's a heavy fella, William, you know, was heavy. I says, I wonder if I did right. But I said, they looked at the place, all right, we'd rent it. And they came that very night. And the next says, what did you do? I says, what did I do? They accepted the place, they gave me the rent. You know, I don't know if they were husband and wife. But I says, she's young. And he's quite heavy set and much, much older than her. Well, I says, they're husband and wife, what's the difference? Even if they're not husband and wife, what do you care? They're not going to live downstairs with us. They're going to live upstairs.
How many years were they tenants?
Huh?
How many years did they live?
Oh, I think 21. They owned the house. They could have bought a house.
You were lucky that you didn't lose and have to
Lovely,
re-rent.
lovely. Margaret turned out to be a... She never went out. She stayed morning till night with the kimono.
She smoked,
She says,
didn't
what's
she?
the matter with those people?
Didn't she smoke a lot?
Yeah, she smoked, but she stopped.
Yeah?
Joe, he says, you know, if she had asthma. He says, stop that smoking, Margaret. That's what's going to kill you. You know, she couldn't breathe. She'd come downstairs, but to go upstairs, she'd have to stop in the middle of the stairs to take her breath to get up. They had asthma. And Joe says, Margaret, I think you should stop smoking. And she says, do you think that would help? Joe says, I think it would, Margaret. And she stopped.
You.
Oh,
you
yes.
work? Where'd you work? At Crowley's?
Crawley's.
In the linen?
And I says, where did I go? No, they were asking for people. And Hudson was paying better. But I got Crawley's. I read it. No, it came over they needed sales lady.
So what department were you in?
And I says, I'm going down there. And I went there. I wrote out an application, what education I had. Evidently, they liked everything. And I was hired, and I was put in the lamp department, selling lamps.
You could have been in the linen department doing nice folded.
I wanted the linen department. They put me in the lamp department. I says, is this the only... Well, I says, it's all right. I said, I'd like to be in the linen because I like to fold and put away. She said, well, there's no opening there. The lamp department. I says, okay, the lamp department.
Did you buy lamps?
And I says, do I have to dust the lamp? No. She says, we have a lady. I didn't want to do the dusting, you know, or the tables, and I said, do I have to do that work? I says, I don't want to do that work.
Mm-hmm.
And it said, no, that's not up to you. You just sell. Oh, I says, all right, I'll sell.
Did she sell
And she
a lot?
put me, because I guess I could speak, and I could write, you know.
Close.
I could write, read and write and everything. And she put me the moving stairs, and I was the first table. She put me there.
How long did
I
you
was
work
young,
there?
you know. And I had a dress, a tailored dress, black. Just a, you know, what they call, just plain. It had 2 pockets, black. We had a dress with a black dress. And boy, was I busy, because the stairway, the moving stairs, came right to my desk almost, you know. So I was her. And that other woman, her name was Robertson, I'll never forget. She used to get so mad. She used to meet them at the stairway. She said, I want to, oh, this will slay you. I had spoken with the lady with the diamond earrings. And I got afraid. I said, I wonder if I should take those earrings off. If somebody tells a man, you know, a young fella, maybe they'll cut the tip of my ear to get my earrings. And I went home and I says, you know something? I'm considered the woman with the diamond earrings. What will I do? She says, well, what's wrong about that? I says, somebody might come and cut my ear, you know, to get the darn diamonds. She says, well, where do you think you'll be when they're doing that? Nick says.
Where did she get the diamonds?
I says, well, I don't know. some nut might come up and say, there's a woman up there with diamond earrings.
Where'd you get the diamond earrings?
Huh?
What?
Well, that was his present. Instead of a ring, I just got the wedding band, and he gave me the earrings. I had little drop earring, a little wee, like a bead. They were cute.
Did you have long hair for a long time? Didn't you have very, very long hair when you got married?
Yes.
How long was it?
Oh, I had quite long hair.
Was it?
Finally, one summer it got so hot.
How did you comb it? How did you fix it?
And how did I fix it?
Yeah.
It braids in a basket and sometime around here. One braid this way.
Was it this color? Was it brown?
Oh, it was long.
Was it this color though?
Yes,
Brown?
brown. Got Stein, they took
Got it.
it.
And so you cut it?
Oh, yes. It was a hot summer. And I says to myself, Margaret was upstairs. I says, my mother's going to get awfully mad because we were going to come and visit in the summertime. I says, I think I'll go and get my hair cut. And I sold your Letty sold them for $10, 2 braids. They grabbed those 2 braids. I said, Letty, I think we should have got more for them. Oh, there were tough hair.
When you had hair that long, when you went to bed at night, was it in braids or you let it down? When you slept, what did you do?
I used to wear them around like that.
But you sleep with it like that, or you take them down when you sleep?
Sometimes I used to take them down, take the hairpins.
Yeah.
I had a lot of hair.
How did you?
Finally, one summer it got so hot. I says, what am I doing with this hair on my head? Margaret. And she looked so nice. I says, I think I'm going to get my hair cut. And I says, I thought about it and thought about it. And we were going to come to visit Mother. And I says, oh my goodness, what will I do? Anyway, I went and got my hair cut.
What did Nick say?
And
What did Nick?
it was straight like a poker. And I said, oh my goodness. So we were going to come to Toronto, and I had a hair done. Beautiful. That was the first and only. I paid $1.
What did Nick say?
I said, I can't afford $1 a month to get my hair fixed. It was so poor.
What did?
Oh, yes. Yeah. How long was she in Italy at that time?
Talk a little louder.
She wasn't very long. And
She didn't stay after she buried him. She came right back.
after she buried
She came
me,
right back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Papa was publishing anything.
Right away, you went back to doing nothing.
Yeah, doing nothing.
Okay.
So Mama says.
So she was the best
She
businesswoman.
sold everything she had. My father had a moulin,
Yeah.
you know.
What is that? Mill.
The grain.
The flour.
Flour. Make the flour.
Flour mill.
A moulin.
Yes.
They grind the grain and make
And why did he have to sell that? Why did they have to get rid of that? What happened to the cow or the horse?
oh, that was another dime.
No, the horse died that was pushing the mill around.
Oh, well, yeah, he got the whole.
He lost the horse.
He lost the
So he had to close the mill down.
And he says this is the end. Yeah.
The horse is a very valuable possession in that country.
That was interesting that they had a barter system where you took 3 bags in, you kept 1 bag after the milling process, and the customer had the 2.
Oh, yeah, and she had a big trunk, and they used to pay
The what?
by grain.
Oh, I see. No money exchange.
No money. And then she used to sell the grain
Yeah.
to other people that wanted it. That was like a business. It
Yeah.
turned out to be like a business.
But the horse died, right?
Oh, yeah.
When the horse died, that was the end of the mill.
That was the end
End of the business.
Okay, Bob, talk about another side of the family. How about the Tomasikios? And our favorite Uncle Joe.
Thomas Sickey was a big mouth.
What sort of stories can you tell us?
Don't let her say anything else.
No. When you first got married and he used to come over and sit,
Oh,
and Dad used to come home.
yes, yeah. And I says, this guy, hasn't he got any friends? I got work to do because Nick used to come home, go to work at 3, and he'd come home at 12, you know. And I says to Rose, I says, listen, when your husband comes, you better come with him. Because I got work to do. I got to finish my work, I got to clean the house, and Nick is going to come home. He comes, he sits on the veranda, you know, and then I was kind of sick, you know. I was going to have kids, and I says, I don't want to be alone. Nick, tell him. He says, I can. He'd hit Rose. Oh. He'd take it out on Rose. I said, well, I'm not going to suffer for her. I said, I don't want the man here. You know, and your father says, oh, put up with him. I said, I'm not going to put up with nobody. I got work to do. I got kids. And I says, I'm tired. And you're going to come home at 12 o'clock? Oh. And I said, what are you going to do? Tell him to go and sit someplace else.
Dolores.
What?
Dolores, the Politano.
Oh,
Coming for
how about
Dolores.
the famous relative of Uncle Fred, the sister?
Father.
Well, number one.
The sister. And on top of the roof. So that's the story.
Oh, the number one, they were the big cheese in Toronto.
Be careful, we might show
And the old man, he'd come from morning till night, Mr. Noble, the grandpa. And he says, as soon as Jerome was 17, he's going to marry Fred. Well, I didn't like strangers. And here was Brahma Buccina, and he used to make the bread, and he had the whole colony buying his bread. Round loaves, you know, with the slits at the side, you know. Hey, he became a rich man, you know. So, every time the old man, number one, come, and this Brahma Buccina wanted to see Gerard, go on home, go sell your bread. Go on. I said, this guy's well, of course, to me, Brahma Buccina was from northern Italy. And I says, we don't know people from northern Italy. And I says, I can't allow him. He's after my daughter, you know, after Gerard. That's what he was coming over for. He'd bring the bread, and he sat. And this old man, the number guy, go on home, go sell your bread. Go on. I said, this is terrible.
Now, what's about the sister?
Huh?
The sister, Uncle Fred's sister.
Wasn't it the Orange Day in Queen's Park when they had the big holiday, remember? Tom?
Oh, yeah.
And then they made a lot, they couldn't make the ice cream fast enough.
And my mother made ice cream. And on the 24th of May, it was a hot day, you know, and she made ice cream as fast as the Dominic would bring the freezer, bring the empty one, she'd make the ice cream again, you know. It was 24th of May, the Queen's birthday.
And while they were in the wilderness here, his sister gets up on the roof.
On the roof.
She says,
Good.
what do you mean? My mom's going to get on the ice cream. Says, there's no business with after we leave. My brothers were
For
musicians.
musicians, yeah.
And in summertime, there wasn't much, you know. In the wintertime, there was receptions and different dances. And it says, the accordion, the musicians, like my brother played the harp, and my Dominic, my brother, the violin, and Uncle Fred, and he played the violin, you know. And she says, and she's got on the roof.
And she took the horn. Where did she go?
Yeah, she got on the roof.
I wanted to get that in.
De Alpenviolin, so verschillende Alpenviolin, mijn handen gelukkig van de lijstschrift. In the summertime, there's not much receptions
Still,
going
he's
on.
repeating
And the
himself.
musicians weren't doing very much, you know.
To make it ice
But
cream.
the people that were making ice cream, they were selling ice cream.
They carried her away, didn't
So
they?
my mother really got in the business of making the ice cream in summertime, and my papa would have his freezer, you know, and he stood at Church Street. That was his corner, and he'd sell the ice cream, and right away Dominic would go with the new freezer and bring the, you know, the hot days, she'd make a couple of 2 or 3 freezers of ice cream. And they had little tin plates, and they put the ice cream, you know, they had a way. It was hollow, but the ice cream was all around. I guess it was 2 cents or something. And they'd wash the dishes, the little tin dishes, in a pail of water.
Want to take a break?
That's one of the...
And he came from nowhere,
Mother,
Nobody saw him.
and he says,
this is a mystery story.
and he says, what are you worried about? And she says, well, I don't know what to do, whether to go back or stay here. It was something like that. And they talked a little bit, and he advised her, you know, to stay while she was in America, to stay here. There was no use her going back to Italy, you know?
Yeah.
And she says, I don't know. This is a strange country to me. And so he told her, don't go back to Italy. Stay here. You'll make your fortune here. You know, you'll find a way to live here. Because they couldn't talk English.
Yeah.
Papa,
Did he talk Italian?
I mean, my dad and mother, they just couldn't get onto the English language. And it was kind of hard, you know. And this old gentleman, he says, I advise you to stay here. You'll get used to it. And you'll come out all right. The children will grow up, you know, and you won't have no trouble. There's no use you going back to Italy. He says, yeah, there is no use. Because she says, I sold everything there. I would have to start from scratch again. And he says, stay here.
What happened to that old
You
man?
know. So before she knew it, she bought.
What happened to the old man? Did
The old man.
Oh,
Did he
the old
disappear?
man. He
Anybody
told,
know?
and he disappeared.
Oh,
She didn't know it.
Never saw him again.
She was thinking what he had told her,
Yeah.
you know. And this old gentleman disappeared. He says, where did he go? She went to the corner and tried the house, you know. He says, where did he go? He disappeared in thin air. An old man.
But that made up her mind.
Nobody knew him, though.
No. Nobody knew.
He knocked at the door.
No, she was sitting outside.
Oh, sitting outside.
Yeah.
And that's
And he says, you're kind of worried. He says, yes. He says, he's not making a living, and it's so hard. And I think I'll go back to Italy, and he'll get his mill again and start working. And he says, no, don't go.
Stay here.
Stay right here, you know. And she began to think, you know, stay right here. And she said, yeah, what am I going back to Italy? I sold everything. You know, she had sold her to make the cloth,
The loom.
the lie, what you call it.
The lie?
What do you call it in
The
Italy?
loom.
The loom.
Make it,
And
yeah.
she says,
Sweet.
no, she says, I think I'll stay here. She changed her mind.
That
But
decided it.
she was getting discouraged in Toronto, in Canada.
But that incident changed her mind.
Yeah, and she says, I think I'll go back to Italy. And he says he'll get his mill again.
Sisters.
John,
One is D'Onofrio side.
yeah, Joanne. And
Joanne?
one was Joanne,
Yeah.
and
The oldest. Joanne was the oldest.
yeah.
And then
Oh,
down from Joanne.
oh, the relatives of my.
Egidio.
Oh, it was George, Dominic, you mean the mama's children?
Look at your brothers, grandpas, your father's brothers and sisters.
They've got,
Was your father the oldest of the family?
Oh, yeah, no, John.
How was that?
John, yeah. John
Okay.
came to New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Taylor.
Yeah, the brother,
All right.
the oldest brother.
And then was your father, Egidio.
Well, then
She's got the family.
he decided to come to America.
Yeah. But now, John, and the next one down.
That's
who was
her
the next
mother's,
one?
that's her mother's side, Dick. Did you
Huh?
know? That's her mother's side.
That's the father's
No,
side.
no, it's Romano. The Romanos.
Was not
John
the
Romano.
Donofrio side.
The Donofrio side.
John Donofrio?
Yeah. Our
Egidio
family,
Yeah. John Donofrio, father's side.
there was a kind of a little
yeah.
revolution in Italy.
Oh, missed him.
Yeah.
So that's your mother's.
And they killed this one, and the mother went blind from crying. She couldn't console herself no more.
So your mother had one brother and one sister.
No, she had more than that. She had John,
John,
and she had the sister.
the sister.
Yeah,
Letizia.
Letizia.
Yeah, the sister's
Yeah,
name.
I think.
And then, what other sisters
After
did you have?
Letizia, because she was Letizia.
Your mother's sister, your aunt.
I don't know how many sisters she had.
You don't know?
How many aunts did
How
you
many
have?
aunts did you have? How many aunts?
How many? Yeah.
She was there.
Well, Jerome, for years, you know, she kept an aunt. She went blind. And Jerome,
Letizia.
yeah,
No,
Jerome kept this aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was Letizia.
It was a sister of Papa. It was Papa's sister.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Mother, you've been telling people that you're an Italian, see?
Great.
But actually, you're not. You don't tell me you're Italian. You're Canadian. The way I'm just saying that.
They asked me what nationality I'm Italian.
How can you be Italian if you weren't born in Italy?
If they ask you what nationality,
You
what
have to tell them the truth. You can't tell them you're Italian. You're not. Mother, listen. Listen.
how can I change from being Italian?
Where were you born?
In Toronto, Canada.
Okay, now if you're born in Toronto, Canada, you're
I'm
a
still
Canadian.
Italian.
No, you can't be Italian. You're a Canadian.
My mother and father.
What does it say on your passport?
My mother and
I
father.
said, what does it say on your passport? It says of a British subject.
A British subject.
Yeah.
Because I
And
was.
not because you were born in Italy, because you were born in
I
Canada.
became a citizen.
Yeah, you became
But
a...
that's why a British
No,
subject.
no.
But I still said Italian.
No, wait a minute, Mother. You became an American citizen, but before you became an American citizen, you were an you were Canadian. Mother, look at if
But it didn't change my nationality.
you were Canadian and you
It
became,
didn't change me from being Italian.
you were never Italian.
Yeah.
How can you be Italian? You were never a citizen. Wait,
Joe, what do you think of that?
Wait.
Your father was Italian, wasn't he?
What
Yeah.
Your mother was
My
Italian.
mom and papa was Italian.
So that makes you
Doesn't
Italian.
that make me Italian?
Yes.
No,
This guy says no.
no, it doesn't. You were Canadian.
Hey,
Mother, wait a minute. Joe was,
because I was born in
wait.
Canada?
Yes, that's what you, when you say what nationality you are, that's what nation you came from. You came from Canada.
If anybody asks me what are you, Italian.
No, you can't tell that, because were you ever a citizen of Italy? Hey, were you ever a citizen of Italy?
Could I say I was a Norwegian?
No, because you weren't in Norway. I can't tell I'm Norwegian either. I'm an American.
You say a Norwegian.
No, I said my dad his parents came from Norway, but we're American.
I'm Italian.
How can you be Italian? You were never a citizen of Italy. You were born in Canada.
Toronto couldn't change me from being Italian.
You were just born there. You were born in Canada.
I
You
can't
were born in
understand the way you think.
Mother, listen, you were born in Canada.
And I'm still Italian.
How did, all right, hey, I would definitely like my thing. I was
This guy
wait,
is
hold on,
Italian.
wait. No, he's not Italian. He's American. He's American of Canadian descent.
Under Mussolini, he only recognized if your father was an Italian and your mother was an Italian, you were Italian. If I went to Italy, I would have been in the Italian army because they don't recognize any citizenship.
No.
Is that right?
Yes.
They call that the just sanguinis.
It doesn't
There.
change me from being
Either
Italian.
just soli or you're just sanguinis. Sanguine means blood. So if you're of Italian blood, then you're an Italian.
I'm an Italian.
All right.
This is no.
But citizen-wise, you are Canadian. You're a British subject because you were born there. Whatever the system that they adopt, that's what they live by.
Adopted, but I'm still Italian.
Start something else.
They eat some hot dogs. The hot dogs, the barbecued hot dogs.
I don't want hot dogs. I don't eat them.
No, the hot dogs are real good.
I don't eat hot dogs.
Why not? Hot dogs, listen, Mother, hot dogs are real good.
Not me.
You-
I haven't eaten a hot dog all my life. I won't eat one now.
It's real good. You eat bologna, don't you?
No.
You don't eat bologna?
I never used to buy them for the kids. The father used to buy them when they went out with them.
I know, but they all live. Nobody died.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I know, but they all...
I wouldn't buy the hot dogs
Why not?
because that guy,
But why do you want to buy one?
Joe. Joe, he was in a store in Worsley, next door, and this fella here was making the hot dogs, and he had, what do you call it, sawdust on the floor.
Yeah.
He picks up the meat and puts it in for the hot
Well, what
dog.
about, listen.
And when the next scene that, he says, don't buy no hot dogs.
All right,
I says,
Mother.
I don't buy no hot
What
dogs.
about when they have ham? Do you like ham?
What?
You like ham?
Yeah,
You like ham?
I like
Yeah, but you know, if the ham drops on the ground when they're smoking it, do you think they throw it away?
I've never seen it. It's never
No,
dropped.
they don't throw it away. They put it right up there and they cook it and people come in and they eat.
Well, I've never cooked I always put it in the oven, the ham.
You did.
I never put it,
Well, listen, I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna show you something else. This is real good. You know, you should smile. But I'm gonna show you something good. Now I'm gonna come back here and you look up there at the mirror. And just look, now, we'll look up there now. Now watch this now. Now watch. Look at that. Doesn't it look good? Now wait a minute, Mother. Look up there now.
I don't-
We're gonna get you a facelift. Look.
I'm not gonna laugh.
We're gonna make you look like a Norwegian. We're gonna make you look like a Norwegian. Now smile. Come on, smile now. Now look up there and smile, Mother. Facelift. No, wait, just a minute. Look.
You're an outlaw.
No, wait. Look up here, Mother. Look at just for 1 minute now. Look up here just for 1 minute. Now wait, just for 1 minute. Now smile. Now watch it. Look at that. Now wait, look at that. Look at that. Oh, isn't that good?
He doesn't want me to say that we're Italians.
And listen, you know
Because
what, Mother?
he's got his wife.
Mother, you know.
He doesn't like Italians.
Listen, you know.
Well, why did you marry her?
Listen, if Ed had paid $100 more,
Answer
look
my
like a
question.
Norwegian.
Answer
And that
my
would have been
question.
good.
Why did you marry Letty? She was Italian.
I couldn't help it. The guy, listen, the guy
You couldn't help it.
No, they
Wait,
put a...
I couldn't get you out of the house.
Oh, no. They
When I'm gone, you're going to laugh at us.
All right, now we look at Ed. There's Ed.
Oh, my.
Ah, Jen.
That proves it.
Put up with that girl.
That proves I'm your son.
Chris,
That proves I'm your son.
Christine,
Sono tutto pazza.
we have got one picture of that.
Ah, Pacienza.
Your new daughter-in-law.
Hi. Yeah, she's my daughter-in-law.
Ask her what her full name is. Ask her what her full name is.
Tell me what my new name is.
My name?
My name. What is my last name? What is my new last name?
Oh, well, you got our name.
It's the same as yours, isn't it?
Yeah. You married my son.
That's right. Don't you think I'm very lucky?
I think you are, because I I love my son and I know him. I know him to be a nice boy. So.
How old is he?
You think the same?
I do.
Okay, we're fine then.
Did Gideon married?
Am I happy? Sure I am happy.
The cards and everything
He
she wrote on?
found a mate that he loves, and I think there's quite a bit of love between the two of them. I think so. So far, so good.
Right.
I know.
And how old are you, Mother?
You
Before
have to ask that question to him.
Okay. Now, before we shut off the reel here, why don't you say how old you are?
I can't hear.
Tell the camera how old you are.
Your age.
My age
When is your birthday and how old are you?
is September the 7th.
Well, you have 2 birthdays, haven't you?
No.
Oh, I'm very old. I'm,
And what will you be on September the 7th?
I'm
Mother.
88.
You're like all the
Turn it off
girls.
a
You
minute.
take
On September the 7th,
September the 7th.
which is
92?
about, which is how many weeks away?
Not so far, it's about 3 weeks away.
3 weeks.
Just say in 3 more weeks, September the 7th,
And I'm going to be
92.
92.
All right, so say 3 more weeks.
Yeah, that's your right, 92.
Okay, say it
Yeah,
now. Tell the camera that, because
I
we're
come
going
to my senses,
to...
yeah.
Okay, tell the camera
Tell
that.
Christine. Tell Christine.
What am I to do?
Tell Christine. All right, I'll ask you. On September 7th, what is your age going to be?
I'll be 92.
92.
And how many more weeks is that?
Oh, well, I don't know. What is the date?
About 3. About 3.
3 more, what month
About
is
3
this?
more weeks. This is August.
August?
Right.
September the 7th.
Birthdays.
How come you have 2 birthdays?
The 7th and the, what's the other date?
The 14th. No,
The 10th.
I know it's a story to that.
5 days hence.
Your father.
The registration, you forgot to register you.
You had 5 days to register, and they didn't register, and rather than
He
pay the
remembered
fine, what did they do?
Oh, he was trying to get me. It cost $26 for every kid that you
Yeah,
had.
but if you're late, you
So
get
my
a fine.
father carried me. I don't know.
No, Mother, that's when we came over to America. No.
No,
Turn
no.
it off. Right.
Mama was awfully sick, and they forgot about poor me in the cradle. And to put my sister didn't register kids. You know, you had to pay a fine
And then they...
because you were trying to, you don't have to register every daughter's
story was one.
And
Then she had another one.
so she said, she put me on, I was born on the 7th, but she put me on the 15th because there was,
That many days?
yeah.
Ah. So do you celebrate 2 birthdays every year?
Well, I like 2 birthdays.
You get presents? 2 days, you get cake
No,
and presents? She's quite the month.
I just celebrate September the 7th.
Okay.
We'll look up, though.
Yeah, tell us when was the last time you saw him in tux. Did you give that house to Dad? Give Dad the house picture.
Yeah, let me see those pictures too. They're going by me here.
Was this your place?
Put it outside, man.
It doesn't look old. It's old enough good.
Are you taking movies?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I should do something nice basement like that. Well, it's nice to have. Amazing how much space.
The slow motion.
What's the fast motion? Got it.
All at once we're wordless.
That's right, it sounds.
Do something. Wait.
What's to do when you're sitting on a chair? You know, I got an idea.
Okay.
When you were taking some...
Isn't Joe good looking?
Oh,
She's taking our
Not because he's my son, but he's a good, he's like his dad. No, Nick was a nice looking man.
Not feeling well, but look up a little bit, Paul. And his not-so-brother, right?
Thomasicchio.
Okay.
The Thomasicchio boys.
That's
And
good-
those
that's a
trees
good
in the
size,
front. That, their
Yeah.
father is,
have no good size.
their father's in that
I'll
picture.
pretend I'm Sean Penn, okay? Picture.
Here, let me get the pictures.
Careful
Give us a big smile, Grandma.
No, it's our town.
Big smile, Grandma.
Smile, pretty.
So smile? Oh, I can smile.
I don't know who that is.
Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe.
No, we had one of the puppies, that's Cookie. We had Trexler, one of the puppies. Ducks. Don't see many ducks.
Theo Thomas. Yes, yes. And Ezekiel. ICCHIO.
You guys, let's go in the shower. Shower in. I got it. Hello there. What's your name?
Thank you.
Good. Okay, perfect.
Give her a push. Give her a push.
Remember your kindergarten teacher?
I remember. The story that she remembers is when I didn't go to school.
couldn't find the door.
That's right.
I said, next time you do that, you're going to make you find the door. Remember, you used to come home for lunch, though, and you used to watch Super Bowl? Yeah. What did you do? She said, not here.
One Friday,
an older boy, I know, inside. He has the playground all to himself.
That person that
He was having a job.
Tell him the story.
I go this morning
Oh,
to check.
he
Tell it, Mother.
Laying out.
Tell him the story.
He knows that when he came home, he
Thrown out
got
wet.
it.
Kids, must be kids.
Next door. Okay,
I brought the mail with me. I checked rockets
Next time you
outside.
go to school, you better
Yeah.
Yeah, they
find
were
that
there.
door.
Somebody picked up your FCC thing.
I said,
It had
that
to
door,
be
it's
yesterday
always in the
afternoon or
same
last
place.
night.
the kids next door.
It rained last night and everything was damp.
Couldn't
So they had
find
to
the
do it.
door.
If it was anybody else, they would have stolen it.
Well, yeah, it was the Amber.
The thing was closed.
You don't know the
I locked
story.
the
He
tight.
knows.
Stand up. Here you go. Stand up. What? Come on, stand up. Okay, come here. Jump. Jump. Okay, here. Stand up. There you go. Jump. Oh, yes, come on, you had it. Put on my shoulder. Put on my Well, what we're talking about is we're going to have to do something to improve.
But your citizenship paper says you're British. You're not even Canadian, you're British.
Dick says no.
What? I don't know what they put on your paper.
What does he know?
Oh, yeah.
Grandma wants to know if she's Italian or
Well, I know I'm Italian, ain't I?
You're Italian, yes.
You're British.
That's your nationality, but you're an American otherwise. Huh?
You're an American of Italian descent. I guess that's what you say.
according to dictionary.
I agree with you, Mother. Don't look at me. I agree.
I would say you're British. I would say you're British. You look like British.
Elio says you're British.
What?
You don't have an
Elio says you're
accent.
British.
British?
You don't have an accent.
Is somebody
You don't got the accent like Italian. You don't talk it so light. Like me.
You said it. You just said it.
I was born in Canada, yes. But,
Oh, well, you're a
that
Canadian
doesn't
then.
make me,
You're a Canadian then.
it's not Italian. I must be Italian.
Canadian isn't the blood, is it? Italian is blood.
That's right, Letty.
You said the right thing.
Letty, when they ask you, what do you say?
I'm half Italian and half,
Maloney,
no,
half
you're not.
Italian.
You're 100%. No, I'm 100% Italian. My parents are both an eighth Norwegian and an eighth English, or Welsh.
I like having all Italian kids.
Well, what are
are you, Betty? This argument goes on and on and on.
Learning.
Primarily French.
He's
Because my
getting more
grandmother
Italian every day.
my father was a Frenchman.
You're Italian.
Oh, Italian. Is that all? Thank you.
Okay.
That's what I asked.
And my
I don't
mother
dare
was
argue with you.
German, French and German.
French and German across the mouth.
And Vi, what are you?
My grandparents
That
were
makes her
born in
Italian.
Switzerland,
She's
so
my
I guess I
daughter.
would be Swiss.
All four grandparents?
No, two. The other two I'm not so... I was mostly with my mother's
Other
parents.
than
My
sex?
father's
Just right
parents
here.
died when I was very young, so I didn't spend really a great deal of time with them. So I grew up in the Swiss
Would he
atmosphere.
be German or something
I
like
think
that?
French, Frere. My
French.
maiden name was Frere, and I've seen a La Frere. That's the only time I've ever seen that. F-R-A-Y-E-R, Frere. So I'm just, not sure
Yeah.
what that was. But I spent most of my
So
time.
what do you call yourself, Daniel?
What do I call myself?
Yeah. You say it. Come on now.
Like the Italian, somebody came up to the Italian, he was carrying 2 melons, right?
Oh, this when we were in
And,
Italy last year.
It was Italy, and some people come up and he says, where's the direction, this street or this palazzo? And the guy couldn't talk. Finally, he looked at the melon, he handed 1 melon to the woman, he handed the other melon to the man, and he said, I don't know.
You baby.
That was cute, and our little girl
That's when you
died.
know you're Italian. And you
She
can't
said,
talk without your hands.
This little girl, I should have brought
Talk
that
without
book.
your hands?
Dick says no.
Okay, turn it off. Let's...
He never eats hot
Mother, turn it on. Mother, how old are you now? Do you know? He doesn't know how old you are.
You don't know. I'm 94 young.
Oh, come on.
In September.
September. The 7th of September.
No, 94.
That's my birthday.
That's one of your birthdays.
Don't celebrate it because I don't want nobody to know I'm that old.
How old do you feel?
What?
How old do you feel?
How old do I feel? Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Sweet 16.
You're not going to get away with that, Mother.
You feel younger than I do.
Get in the swimming pool if you're 16. Start swimming.
You know what we had today? We had a Coast Guard, Guy Crapple.
Oh, no.
You know, because Vi would be Vi Crapple.
I don't think so.
Good thing you didn't marry.
Instead of having this,
Good thing you didn't marry Guy Crapple.
Why?
Well, he had that horrible name.
I think he's a big person.
Mother, didn't the name bother you?
Huh?
Didn't the name bother you?
Well, his nose bothered me. He had a nose like that. I said, oh, my goodness, if I get to marry him and get a daughter with a nose like that, I'm sure she'd be an old maid.
The only guy who can smoke a cigar in their
For
shower.
that very reason, I wouldn't marry Guy Crapple.
I went with a girl for a short period of time whose last name was Philpott.
Get him. Get him. Your father. Philpott?
Yeah.
How did she explain it? Did she take a lot of ribbing for it?
No, not really. She was a lovely girl and she had a pretty first name and nobody paid any attention to that.
Guy Crapple. I understand. He's a lawyer.
If someone gave you $1,000, would you go in that water?
No, I wouldn't. $1,000?
Second thoughts.
Maybe.
Well, if I had wings.
Would you go in that water? There's steps there to get in. So you wouldn't have to jump in. For $1,000, would you go in?
$1,000 look good, doesn't it?
Right up
You
front.
give me 100 of it and I'll lead you in.
You would have fooled me, wouldn't you? If I gave you... You'd make me sick.
Yeah, you get all the
I would take care of you.
Wouldn't you help me?
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was telling you. Oh, sure.
How much did you want?
Did she have her pills tonight?
A tenth of it?
No, I brought
$100?
Better give it to him.
Worth it.
In that water? Oh, I wouldn't go in that water.
$1,000, mother?
I don't know how to
$1,000 is
swim.
$1,000 is 10 $100 bills.
$1,000 is good enough.
What if you gave him $100 and he held one hand, and you gave Aunt Grace $100 and she'd hold the other hand, and they'd help you in? Would you go in then for $800?
He's getting lower and lower.
No.
It's
She
less
keeps hiring more
appealing.
help.
Yeah.
It's less appealing.
Overhead is Overhead's eating
Why?
up
You don't have to swim.
profit.
No, it's shallow.
You can.
It's
It
shallow.
would only be up to you.
Well,
on you.
let's think about it.
I don't know.
You'd think about it, wouldn't you?
I don't think
That's something. I didn't thought it would take a little more than that to get her in.
Always afraid of water.
I think every child should know how to swim. I went to a Catholic school, and all I know how to carry on is praying.
That helps too.
Well, I think praying got me where I am today.
Poor kids.
I can't complain. They're four nice kids. 2 boys and 2 girls.
I thought of all these people here today that you were the reason for all of them. That's right. I said, with all those people that were here today, with the exception of him, Paul, you were the reason for the whole thing. And Andrew, if Grandma, do you think Grandma would go in the water for $1,000?
Yeah.
Would you go in the water for $1,000?
Oh, yeah.
Would you go in for a penny?
Yeah.
Would you pay $1,000 to go in the water?
No. Could you swim? Could you save me? Yeah.
How would you do it? Do you know how to save people?
Yeah.
How would you do it?
I take the buoy over there. I take
Throw it
it.
in.
Yeah, I take the rope. You'd have to take the rope. It's supposed to be down the rope.
Say, holler for Dad.
Holler for Dad!
Yes. I don't know, that's a little... Italian mothers just want their daughters to be mothers. Yeah, they can't take in no swimming.
Wash my hands.
They do a little dancing. I said a bell. My mother.
Do you remember Grandma doing that?
Yeah, I used to play the violin.
She was a I never thought of it until right now.
Oh, she had to have that handkerchief.
Somebody else we know.
Toronto?
Yeah, he did it.
What was his name?
For the Italians, yeah. Because
What was
they
his name?
couldn't eat that salt stuff, you know. And he came, and he had one baker first. And he couldn't make enough bread because they wanted that Italian bread, crusty, you know, round. And he became a millionaire.
What was his name? He asked for your hand, your mother.
What was his name?
His name.
Starts with a B, I guess. Funny thing. Anyway, he became rich because he started to make.
Do you remember the guy that made the bread?
Yeah, I'm trying to
You
think.
know, round little.
Puccini.
Was it Puccini?
You said it.
Puccini?
It's not Puccini, it's something else.
She thinks it starts with a B.
No, Italian names don't start with B's usually.
Vai Puccini. That would be too bad.
Turn out for me. Or he wanted to marry Angelo, one of the two of you.
Yeah, where we get the
bread guy.
He wanted to marry Aunt Jerome. Aunt Jerome was 20 years older.
Go buy this hot bread.
I don't remember
He wanted to marry Aunt Jerome when she was 40 and Grandma when she was 20.
You gotta get rid of this stuff. Or get rid of the fly, one or the other.
I've seen some.
Don't start someone's taking my picture.
Although, we're good at dishwashing this.
Well, the other problem with it, well, I don't know.
No, don't come up. No, it'll get wet and slippery though.
What are we trying to front yard? There's a lot of space in the front yard. There's no one. Well, I mean, they're not going anywhere.
a lot of film.
There.
That's kind of really one
Which one of those things?
side.
Where do you get those, Kmart or Myers?
I got Myers, Big Lots has it for $2, believe it or not.
Big Lots. Big Lots store?
I bought it at Myers, yeah. They have different, everybody makes them now. It's getting that blend just right is the key to it. I think it's, I don't know what it is.
Good.
You get it right, you get a 6 foot, 8 foot bubble if it's right. The glycerin is the key to it. I can't.
How much glycerin you put in that?
A quarter cup to a gallon.
What?
A quarter.
You need both ankles? I'll get the rear end here. Come here, come here. Do the full, yeah. Let's get up close. This is pre-faceless. I want to get one of your mom like that.
You hold my pot. Remember lasagna? It's okay. You like lasagna, I know you do.
And it was governed, I don't know why. Hearing it, I'm very what?
Real ham.
He doesn't know I'm doing this.
You're retired now, huh?
Oh yeah, I've been retired for
Oh my Lord. 35 years ago, not working in grade, every grade.
yeah, how about that?
Good grief.
How you doing?
Fine, how are you? How long is it?
Oh, it's been a long time.
You're just as good looking as you were.
Oh, I know it.
I could tell. Oh,
Why don't you do my wife?
Oh, how you doing? I'm very glad to meet you.
4 years.
You don't have a roof.
I'm busy.
How do you guys that?
Oh, fine. You're good. I always call them Chiefs. Nobody else did, but I always did.
That's right. For GG or
And you just weren't like you always.
I'm not used to these fancy houses with a different step to it.
Yeah, we'd be up at the old barn or on a roof of a house and throwing junk at the bums. This is what they found.
Remember when we used to get up on top of that?
The preceding